This is a class of high beginning, low intermediate adult refugees, most of whom have only been in the United States a little less than a year. So what I'm presenting here are portions of the second day of a lesson plan on reading and writing a dialogue, the guided practice section, the independence practice section, and the assessment. Earlier in the lesson, I would have advised them that by the end of class, everyone would have completed their dialogue, recorded it, and uploaded it to YouTube. And that as an assessment, we would be looking at everyone's dialogue and checking it against a checklist. Very good, students. So we have just reviewed the parts of a dialogue, so you know what you want in your dialogue. We reviewed the final T and D sounds on words, and we have looked at the checklist of items we want to see in our dialogue. But before you and your partner begin to work on your dialogue and your checklist, let's look at the dialogue we wrote yesterday and use the checklist to see that everything is there. We will do this together, then you and your partner can do it for your dialogue. So I would project the dialogue that the class created the previous day and pass out copies of the checklist that they will be using. I want you to work alone for a few minutes. Please read the dialogue on the front board and check off the items on the checklist as you find them. Can you see on the checklist right here where it says class model? This is the model that we wrote together as a class. So when you use the checklist, that is where you will put your check marks. So I would circulate around the room to determine that they understand the process. And when pretty much everybody is finished, we would review it as a class. Students, the first question asks, are there two speakers? Does this dialogue have two speakers? Yes, it does. What are their names? Bella and Lasse. Very good. Then it asks if the dialogue is about a good night's sleep or a bad night's sleep. You are right. It is about a bad night's sleep. Okay, good. Can you tell me, why did Bella have a bad night's sleep? Right. Her baby was up crying, and then she ate some chocolate to help her stay awake, and then she could not go back to sleep. Good. All right. Do we see, next question, do we see how she can change her behavior? Right. She says, show me up here, what does she say? She says she will tell her husband to get up with the baby tonight. Very good. All right. And one more behavior change? Yes. Lasse tells her, reminds her to avoid the caffeine in the chocolate. Remember, we talked about chocolate having caffeine in it. Caffeine will keep you awake. Does anyone see any spelling and grammar errors? That's the next question. No, we did this together and we corrected all of the errors yesterday. So no spelling or grammar errors here. Together we did a good job on this dialogue, didn't we? Good. Abdi, yes, you do have a question. What is your question? You are right. We are skipping the last item. For right now, we are not going to look at that. Does anyone know why? Paul? You are right. It is because it's about pronunciation, and we cannot tell pronunciation just from looking at the words on the paper. We need to hear someone reading the words. So later, when you read your dialogue out loud, then we will be able to tell about pronunciation. And that is a good reminder. Remember, we are going to record these and put them on our YouTube channel, so you want your pronunciation to be good. So you need to practice that really, really well. So then I think I would ask them to read this dialogue, even though we've read it before, read it again, just one last time, so I can have an opportunity to talk to them more about the final T sound and the final D sound. Okay, now have another look at your dialogue and see if you can check off all the boxes on the checklist. I will be around to help you. Also, Lele and Sabubu, who were absent yesterday, they will come around to check. So as the pairs get started working, I would take a little time with the two students who were absent for the previous lesson to advise them what their job is. Okay, you guys, here's your job. You go around, visit each pair, ask them if they can check off the items on the checklist. If anyone is stuck, you can try to answer the questions or call me over, all right? Once everyone is ready and they can start practicing the dialogue, then I want you to walk around again and just listen. That is your job, listen. If you do not understand what they are saying, tell them. Tell them, Abdi, I cannot understand your words, all right? And help him to say them correctly. If you are stuck, call me and I will come over and help, all right? After everyone has practiced and they are ready to record their dialogues, I will ask you to help me with that and then also help to upload them to YouTube. Thanks, guys. So as each pair finishes, I would instruct them on the next portion of the work. Students, when you are happy with your dialogue, begin to practice it. Teacher and Lele and Saibubu will be around to listen to your dialogue. You want to pronounce your words correctly, especially words ending with D or T. Remember, we will record this and upload it to the class YouTube channel, so you want to have excellent pronunciation. So we'd circulate a bit and listen to them, again, listening in particular for the D and the T sounds. As each pair is ready, they could move over to a different section of the classroom and either I or one of the helpers would assist them with recording and uploading their dialogue to our YouTube channel. And once all of the dialogues have been recorded and uploaded, I would direct the learners to the YouTube channel on their own computers. Great! Everyone's dialogue is now on YouTube. You can show it to your family tonight. Do you have your YouTube channel bookmarked? Can you find it? If you have trouble and you need help, please raise your hand. Someone will come and help you find it. Good. All right, everyone has it. You see where it is. So right now, we will leave that alone. We will come back to it. But right now, we are going to look at a few dialogues together as a class. Later, you can look at some individually, but right now, together. So I am going to show the YouTube channel on the front board and look at a few of the dialogues, all right? And remember, you have your checklist in front of you, all right? Can you see where the students' names are up at the top? All right? When we say which dialogue we are talking about, we will look for that column to use on our checklist. Who would like to go first? Abdio and Perna? Thank you. Thank you. Students, do you see where their names are up at the top? Good. Okay. Abdi and Perna, is there anything you want to tell us about your dialogue? Perna, this really happened. Okay, good. I'm glad you could write about it. Very good. So then I would project that particular dialogue on the board and follow up with marking the checklist. After we did 2 or 3 as a group, I would instruct the students to put their headphones on and do 1 or 2 by themselves. And when they're done, we would review those as a class.